My thoughts and prayers recently have been to become closer to Jesus and what He would like me to be doing. Over and over, I've been shown in different ways that I should be reading His Word. And also, I've been seeing verses pertaining to read aloud. So I'll be reading through the Bible. Video for each book. I will be reading from the 1560 Geneva Bible and will include all the books of the Apocrypha. Finally, perhaps in the future, I will do a video discussing each book. If you want to listen and read along, I welcome you. Just be sure to do it prayerfully. Ask the author to sit with you and grant understanding each time you open his word. The same day, Jesus went out of the house and sat by the seaside, and great multitudes resorted unto him, so that he went into his ship and sat down, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. Then he spake many things to them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow, and as he sowed, some fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony ground, for they had not much earth, and anon they sprung up, because they had no depth of earth. And when the sun rose up, they were parched, and for lack of rooting withered away. And some fell among the thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. Some again fell in good ground, and brought forth fruit. One corn 100-fold, and some 60-fold, and another 30-fold. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. Then the disciples came to him and said to him, Why speakest thou to them in parables? And he answered and said unto them, Because it is given unto you to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. For whosoever hath to him shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But whosoever hath not from him shall be taken away, even that he hath. Therefore I speak to them in parables, because they seeing do not see, and hearing they hear not, neither understand. So in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which prophecy saith, By hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. For this people's heart is waxed fat, and their ears are dull of hearing, and with their eyes they have winked, lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their hearts, and should return, that I might heal them. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. Hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. Whensoever a man heareth the word of the kingdom, and understandeth it not, the evil one cometh, and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart. And this is he which hath received the seed by the wayside. And he that received the seed in the stony ground is he which heareth the word, and incontinently with joy receives it. Yet he has no root in himself, and dureth but a season. For as soon as tribulation or persecution cometh because of the word, by and by he is offended. And he that receiveth the seed among thorns is he that heareth the word, but the care of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he is made unfruitful. But he that receiveth the seed in the good ground is he that heareth the word, and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit, and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60-fold, and some 30-fold. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like unto a man which sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, there came his enemy, and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. And when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. Then came the servants of the householder, and said unto him, Master, sowest not thou good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? And he said to them, The envious man hath done this. And the servants said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye go about gather the tares, ye pluck up also with them the wheat. Let both grow together until the harvest, and in time of the harvest I will say to the reapers, gather ye first the tares, and bind them in sheaves to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Another parable he put forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a grain of mustard seed, which a man taketh and soweth in his field, which indeed is the least of all seeds, but when it is grown, it's the greatest among herbs, and it is a tree, so that the birds of heaven come and build in the branches thereof. Another parable he spoke to them. The kingdom of heaven is likened unto leaven, which a woman taketh and hideth in 3 pecks of meal, till all be leavened. All these things Jesus spake into the multitude in parables. Without parables spake he not unto them, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables, and will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundation of the world. Then Jesus sent the multitude away, and went into the house. And his disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. Then answered he and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world, and the good seed, they are the children of the kingdom. And the tares are the children of the wicked. The enemy that soweth them is the devil, and the harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers be the angels. As then the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of this world. The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all things that offend, and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then shall the just men shine as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a treasure hid in the field, which when a man hath found, he hideth it, and for joy thereof departeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like to a merchantman that seeketh good pearls, who having found a pearl of great price, went and sold all he had and bought it. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a draught net cast into the sea, and gathereth all kinds of things, which when it is full, men draw to land, and sit and gather the good into vessels, and cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall go forth, and sever the bad from among the just, and shall cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Jesus said unto them, understand all these things? They say unto him, yea, Lord. Then said he unto them, therefore every scribe which is taught into the kingdom of heaven is like unto a householder, which bringeth forth out of his treasure things both new and old. And it came to pass, when Jesus had ended these parables, he departed thence, and came into his own country, and taught them in their synagogues, so that they were astonished, and said, whence cometh this wisdom and great works unto this man? Is this not the carpenter's son? Is not his mother called Mary, and his brethren James and Joseph, and Simon and Judas? And are not his sisters all with us? Whence then hath he all these things? And they were offended by them. Then Jesus said to them, a prophet is not without honor, save in his own country and his own house. And he did not many great works there, for their unbelief's sake. Chapter 14. At that time Herod the Tetrarch heard of the fame of Jesus, and said unto his servants, this is John the Baptist. He is risen again from the dead, and therefore great works are wrought by him. For Herod had taken John, and bound him, and put him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife. For John said unto him, it is not lawful for thee to have her. And when he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude, because they counted him as a prophet. But when Herod's birthday was kept, and the daughter of Herodias danced before them, and pleased Herod, therefore he promised with an oath that he would give her whatsoever she would ask. And she, being before instructed of her mother, said, Give me here John Baptist's head in a platter. And the king was sorry, nevertheless, because of the oath, and them that sat with him at the table. He commanded it be given to her, and sent and beheaded John in the prison. And his head was brought in a platter and given to the maid, and she brought it unto her mother. And his disciples came and took up his body and buried it, and went and told Jesus. And when Jesus heard it, he departed thence by ship unto a desert place apart. And when the multitude heard it, they followed him afoot out of the cities. And Jesus went forth and saw a great multitude, and was moved with compassion towards them, and he healed their sick. And when even was come, his disciples came to him, saying, This is a desert place, and the hour is already past. Let the multitudes depart, that they may go into the towns and buy them vitales. But Jesus said unto them, They have no need to go away. Give ye them to eat. Then they said unto him, We have here but 5 loaves and 2 fishes. And he said, Bring them hither to me. He commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, looked up to heaven, and blessed, and brake, and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. And they did all eat, and were sufficed. They took up the fragments that remained, 12 baskets full. And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, besides women and little children. And right away Jesus compelled his disciples to enter into a ship, to go over before him while he sent the multitude away. And as soon as he had sent the multitude away, he went up into a mountain alone to pray. And when evening was come, he was there alone. And the ship was now in the middle of the sea, and was tossed with waves, for it was a contrary wind. And in the 4th watch of the night, Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. When his disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit, and cried out in fear. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good comfort, it is I, do not be afraid. Then Peter answered him, and said, Master, if it be thou, bid me to come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, and walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw a mighty wind, he was afraid, and as he began to sink, he cried, saying, Master, save me. So immediately Jesus stretched forth his hand, and caught him, and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? And as soon as they were come to the ship, the wind ceased. Then they that were in the ship came and worshipped him, saying, Of a truth thou art the Son of God. And when they were come over, they came into the land of Gennesaret. And when the men of that place knew him, they sent out into all of that country round and about, and brought unto him all that were sick, and besought him that they might touch the hem of his garment only. And as many as touched it were made whole. Chapter 15. Then came Jesus to the scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, Why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, Why do ye also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? For God hath commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth thy father or mother, let him die by the death. But ye say, Whosoever shall say to father or mother, By the gift that is offered me, thou mightest have profit, though he honor not his father or his mother, shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of God of no authority by your tradition. O hypocrites, Isaiah prophesied well of you, saying, People draweth near unto me with their mouth, and honoreth me with their lips, but their heart is far off from me. But in vain they worship me, teaching poor doctrines, men's precepts. Then he called the multitude unto them, and said unto them, Hear and understand. That which goeth into the mouth defileth not the man, but that which cometh out of the mouth, that defileth the man. Then came his disciples, and said unto him, Perceivest thou not that the Pharisees are offended in hearing this saying? But he answered and said, Every plant which mine heavenly Father hath not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone. They shall be the blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Declare unto us this parable. And then said Jesus, Are you yet without understanding? Perceive ye not yet that whatsoever entereth the mouth goes into the belly, and is cast out into the drought? But those things which proceedeth out of the mouth come from the heart, and they defile the man. For out of the heart come evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false testimonies, slanders. These are the things which defile the man. But to eat with unwashen hands defileth not the man. And Jesus went thence, and parted unto the coasts of Tyrus and Sidon. And behold, a woman, a Canaanite, came out of the same coast, and cried, saying unto him, Have mercy on me, O Lord, the Son of David. My daughter is miserably vexed with a devil. But he answered her not a word. Then came to him his disciples, and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Yet she came and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. And he answered and said, It is not good to take the children's bread and cast it to the whelps. But she said, Truth, Lord. Yet indeed the whelps eat of the crumbs which fall from their master's table. And Jesus answered and said unto her, O woman, great is thy faith. Be it to thee as thou desirest. And her daughter was made whole at that hour. So Jesus went away from thence, and came near unto the Sea of Galilee, and went up into a mountain, and sat down there. And great multitudes came unto him, having with them halt, blind, dumb, maimed, and many other, and cast them down at Jesus' feet, and he healed them. And so much that the multitude wondered to see the dumb speak, the maimed whole, the halt go, and the blind to see, and they glorified the God of Israel. Then Jesus called his disciples unto him, and said, I have compassion on this multitude, because they have continued with me already 3 days, and have had nothing to eat, and I will not let them depart fasting, lest they faint in the way. His disciples said unto him, Whence should we get so much bread in the wilderness, as should suffice so great a multitude? And Jesus said unto them, How many loaves have ye? And they said, 7, and a few little fishes. And he commanded the multitudes to sit on the ground, took the 7 loaves and the fishes, and gave thanks, and brake them, and gave them to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. And they did all eat, and were sufficed. And they took up of the fragments that remained 7 baskets full. And they that had eaten were 4,000 men, besides women and little children. Then Jesus sent away the multitude, and took ship, and came into the parts of Magdala. Chapter 16. Then came the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and did tempt him, desired him to show them a sign from heaven. But he answered and said unto them, When it is evening, ye say, Fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning ye say, Shall be a tempest, for the sky is red and lowering. O hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, can ye not discern the signs of the times? The wicked generation and adulteress seeketh a sign, and there shall no sign be given it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. So he left them and departed. And when his disciples were come to the other side, they had forgotten to take bread with them. And Jesus said unto them, Take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees. And they thought in themselves, saying, It is because we have brought no bread. But Jesus, knowing it, said unto them, O ye of little faith, why think you thus in yourselves, because ye have brought no bread? Do ye not yet perceive, neither remember the 5 loaves, when there were 5,000 men, and how many baskets took ye up? Neither the 7 loaves, when there were 4,000 men, and how many baskets took ye up? Why perceive ye not that I said not unto you concerning bread, that ye should beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees? Then understood they that he had not said that they should beware of the leaven of bread, but of the doctrine of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Now when Jesus came into the coast of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, Whom do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? And they said, Some say John the Baptist, and some Elias, and others Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. He said unto them, But whom say ye that I am? Then Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Jesus answered and said unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon, the son of Jonas. For flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not overcome it. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind upon earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. And he charged his disciples that they should tell no man that he was Jesus the Christ. From that time forth, Jesus began to show unto his disciples that he must go into Jerusalem and suffer many things of the elders and of the high priests and scribes, and be slain, and rise again the third day. Then Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him, saying, Master, pity thyself. This shall not be unto thee. Then he turned back and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan. Thou art an offense unto me, because thou understandest not the things that are of God, but the things that are of men. Jesus then said to his disciples, If any man will follow me, let him forsake himself, and take up his cross, and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what will it profit a man though he should win the whole world if he loses his own soul? Or what shall a man give for recompense of his soul? For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then shall he give to every man according to his deeds. Verily I say unto you, there be some of them that stand here which shall not taste of death till they have seen the Son of Man come in his kingdom. Chapter 17. And after 6 days Jesus took Peter and James and John his brother, and brought them up into a high mountain apart, and was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his clothes were as white as the light. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elias, talking with him. Then answered Peter and said unto Jesus, Master, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for thee, and one for Moses, and one for Elias. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud shadowed them. And behold, there came a voice out of the cloud, saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Hear him. And when the disciples heard that, they fell on their faces and were sore afraid. Then Jesus came and touched them, and said, Arise, and be not afraid. And when they lifted up their eyes, they saw no man save Jesus only. And as they came down from the mountain, Jesus charged them, saying, Show the vision to no man until the Son of Man rise again from the dead. And his disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elias must first come? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Certainly Elias must first come, and restore all things. But I say unto you that Elias is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they would. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Then the disciples perceived that he spake unto them of John the Baptist. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man, and kneeled down to him, and said, Master, have pity on my son, for he is lunatic, and is sore vexed. For ofttimes he falleth into the fire, and ofttimes into the water. And I brought him to thy disciples, and they could not heal him. Then Jesus answered and said, O generation, faithless and crooked, how long shall I be with you? How long now shall I suffer you? Bring him hither to me. And Jesus rebuked the devil, and he went out of him, and the child was healed at that hour. Then came the disciples to Jesus apart, and said, Why could we not cast him out? And Jesus said unto them, Because of your unbelief. For verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as much as is a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, Remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible to you. Howbeit this kind goeth out not, but by prayer and fasting. And as they abode in Galilee, Jesus said unto them, The Son of Man shall be delivered unto the hands of men, and they shall kill him. but the third day he shall rise again. And they were very sorry. And when they were come to Capernaum, they that received poll money came to Peter and said, Doth not your master pay tribute? He said, Yes. And when he was come into the house, Jesus prevented him, saying, What thinkest thou, Simon? Of whom do the kings of the earth take tribute, or poll money? Of their children, or of strangers? Peter said unto him, Of strangers. Then Jesus said unto him, Then are the children free? Nevertheless, lest we should offend them, go to the sea, and cast in an angle, and take the first fish that cometh up. And when thou hast opened his mouth, thou shalt find a piece of 20 pence. That take and give unto them for me and thee. Chapter 18. The same time the disciples came unto Jesus, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whosoever shall receive such a little child in my name receiveth me. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and were drowned in the depth of the sea. Woe be unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses shall come, but woe be to that man by whom the offense cometh. Wherefore, if thine hand or thy foot causes thee offend, cut them off, and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life halt or maimed, than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into the everlasting fire. And if thy eye cause you to offend, pluck it out, and cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life with 1 eye, than having 2 eyes to be cast into hellfire. See that ye despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you that in heaven their angels always behold the face of my Father, which is in heaven. For the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost. How think ye? If a man have 100 sheep, and one of them be gone astray, doth he not leave 99 and go into the mountains and seek that which is gone astray? And if so be that he find it, verily I say unto you, he rejoiceth more of that sheep than of the 99 which went not astray. So is it not the will of your Father which is in heaven that one of these little ones should perish? Moreover, if thy brother trespasses against thee, go, and tell him his fate between thee and him alone. If he hear thee, thou hast won thy brother. But if he hear thee not, take yet with thee 1 or 2, that by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be confirmed. And if he will not vouchsafe to hear them, tell it unto the church. And if he refuse to hear the church also, let him be unto thee as a heathen man and a publican. Verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever ye loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Again, verily I say unto you, that if 2 of you shall agree in earth upon anything, whatsoever they shall desire, it shall be given them of my Father which is in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. Then came Peter to him and said, Master, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I shall forgive him? Unto 7 times? Jesus said unto him, I say not to thee unto 7 times, but unto 70 times 7 times. Therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened unto a certain king, which he would take accounts of his servants. And when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him, which ought to him 10,000 talents. Because he had nothing to pay, his master commanded him to be sold, and his wife and his children, and all that he had, and the debt to be paid. The servant therefore fell down and besought him, saying, Master, appease thine anger towards me, and I will pay thee all. Then that servant's master had compassion, and loosed him, and forgave him the debt. But when the servant was departed, he found one of his fellows, which owed him 100 pence. And he laid hands on him, and took him by the throat, saying, Pay me what thou owest. Then his fellow fell down at his feet, and besought him, saying, Appease thine anger towards me, and I will pay thee all. But he would not, but went and cast him into prison till he should pay the debt. And when his other fellows saw what was done, they were very sorry, and came and declared unto their master all that was done. Then his master called him, and said unto him, O evil servant, I forgave thee all that debt, because thou pratest me. Oughtest not thou also to have had pity on thy fellow, even as I had pity on thee? His master was wroth, and delivered him to the jailers, till he should pay all that was due to him. So likewise shall my heavenly Father do unto you, except ye forgive from your hearts each one to his brother their trespasses. Chapter 19. And it came to pass that when Jesus had finished those sayings, he departed from Galilee, and came into the coast of Judea beyond Jordan. And great multitudes followed him, and he healed them there. Then came unto him the Pharisees, tempting him, and saying to him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every fault? And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? And said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and cleave unto his wife. They twain shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. Let not man therefore put asunder that which God hath coupled together. They say to him, Why then did Moses command to give a bill of divorcement, and to put her away? He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your heart, suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning it was not so. I say therefore unto you, that whosoever shall put away his wife, except be for whoredom, and marry another, committeth adultery. And whosoever marrieth her which is divorced doth commit adultery. Then said his disciples to him, If the matter be so between man and wife, it is not good to marry. Then he said unto them, All men cannot receive this thing, save they to whom it is given. For there are some chaste which were so born of their mother's belly, and there be some chaste which be made chaste by men, and there be some chaste which have made themselves chaste for the kingdom of heaven. He that is able to receive this, let him receive it. Then were brought to him little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray. And the disciples rebuked them. Jesus said, Suffer little children, and forbid them not to come to me, for such is the kingdom of heaven. And when he had put his hands on them, he departed thence. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do, that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, even God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He said unto him, Which? And Jesus said, These, Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. The young man said unto him, I have observed all these things from my youth. What lack I yet? Jesus said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go, sell that thou hast, and give it to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. When the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. Then Jesus said unto his disciples, Verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter the kingdom of heaven. And again I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of God. And when his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, Who then can be saved? And Jesus beheld them, and said unto them, With men this is impossible, with God all things are possible. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have? And Jesus said unto him, Verily I say to you, that when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his majesty, ye which followed me in the regeneration shall sit also upon 12 thrones, and judge the 12 tribes of Israel. And whosoever shall forsake houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, he shall receive 100-fold more, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Chapter 20. For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain householder, which went out at the dawning of the day to hire laborers into his vineyard. And he agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, and sent them into his vineyard. Then he went out about the third hour, and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. Said unto them, Go ye also into my vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way. Again he went out about the 6th and 9th hour, and did likewise. And he went out about the 11th hour, and found others standing idle. And he said unto them, Why stand ye here all the day idle? And they said unto him, Because no man hath hired us. He said to them, Go ye also into my vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that shall ye receive. And when even was come, and the master of the vineyard said unto his steward, Call the laborers, and give them their hire, beginning at the last, till thou come to the first. And they which were hired about the 11th hour came and received every man a penny. Now when the first came, they supposed that they should receive more, but likewise they received every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the master of the house, saying, These last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden and the heat of the day. And he answered one of them, saying, Friend, I do thee no wrong. Didst thou not agree with me for a penny? Take that which is thine own, and go thy way. I will give unto this last as much as to thee. Is it not lawful for me to do as I will with mine own? Is thine eye evil because I am good? So the last shall be first, and the first last, for many are called, but few chosen. And Jesus went up to Jerusalem, and took the 12 disciples apart in the way, and said unto them, Behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man shall be delivered unto the chief priests and unto the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death, and shall deliver him to the Gentiles to mock, and to scourge, and to crucify him. But the third day he shall rise again. Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshipping him, and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said unto her, What wouldest thou? She said to him, Grant that these my 2 sons may sit, the one at thy right hand, and the other at thy left hand, in thy kingdom. And Jesus answered and said, Ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I shall be baptized with? They said to him, We are able. And he said unto them, Ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and shall be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit at my right hand and at my left hand is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. And when the other 10 heard this, they disdained at the 2 brethren. Therefore Jesus called unto them, and said, Ye know that the lords of the Gentiles have domination over them, and that they are great, exercise authority over them. But it shall not be so among you. But whosoever will be great among you, let him be your servant. And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life for the ransom of many. And as they departed from Jericho, a great multitude followed him. Behold, 2 blind men, sitting by the wayside, when they heard that Jesus passed by, cried, saying, O Lord, the Son of David, have mercy on us. And the multitude rebuked them, because they should hold their peace. But they cried the more, saying, O Lord, the Son of David, have mercy on us. And Jesus stood still, and called them, and said, What will ye that I should do to you? And they say to him, Lord, that our eyes may be opened. And Jesus, moved with compassion, touched their eyes, and immediately their eyes received sight, and they followed him. Chapter 21. When they drew near to Jerusalem, and were come to Bethphage, unto the Mount of the Olives, then sent Jesus 2 disciples, saying to them, Go into the town that is over against you, and anon ye shall find an ass bound, and a colt with her. Loose them, and bring them unto me. And if any man say aught to you, say ye, that the Lord hath need of them, and straightway he will let them go. All this was done that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, Tell ye the daughter of Sion, Behold, thy king cometh unto thee, meek, and sitting upon an ass and a colt, the foal of an ass used to the yoke. So the disciples went and did as Jesus has commanded them, and brought the ass and the colt, and put on them their clothes, and set him thereon. And a great multitude spread their garments in the way, and other cut down branches from the trees, and strawed them in the way. Moreover, the people that went before, and they also that followed, cried, saying, Hosanna, the Son of David, blessed be he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Hosanna, thou which art in the highest heavens. And when he was come into Jerusalem, all the city was moved, saying, Who is this? And the people said, This is Jesus the prophet of Nazareth in Galilee. And Jesus went into the temple of God, and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers, and the seats of them that sold doves, and said unto them, It is written, Mine house shall be the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. Then the blind and the halt came to him in the temple, and he healed them. But when the chief priests and scribes saw the marvels that he did, and the children crying in the temple, and saying, Hosanna, the Son of David, they disdained. And he said unto them, Hearest thou what these say? And Jesus said unto them, Yea, read ye never by the mouth of babes and sucklings that thou hast made perfect the praise? So he left them, and went out of the city into Bethania, and lodged there. And in the morning, as he returned into the city, he was hungry. And seeing a fig tree in the way, he came to it, and found nothing thereon but leaves only, and said to it, Never fruit grow on thee henceforwards. And anon the fig tree withered. And when his disciples saw it, they marveled, saying, How soon is the fig tree withered? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Verily I say unto you, if ye have faith and doubt not, ye shall not only do that which I have done to the fig tree, but also if ye say unto this mountain, Take thyself away, and cast thyself into the sea, it shall be done. And whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, if ye believe, ye shall receive it. And when he was come into the temple, the chief priests and elders of the people came unto him, as he was teaching, and said, By what authority dost thou these things? And who gave thee this authority? And Jesus answered and said unto them, I will also ask of you a certain thing, which if ye tell me, I likewise will tell you by what authority I do these things. The baptism of John, whence was it? From heaven, or of men? They reasoned among themselves, saying, If we shall say from heaven, he will say unto us, Why did ye not then believe him? And if we say of men, we fear the people, for all John hold as a prophet. And they answered Jesus and said, We cannot tell. And he said unto them, Neither tell I you by what authority I do these things. But what think ye? A certain man had 2 sons, and came to the elder and said, Son, go work today in my vineyard. But he answered and said, I will not. Yet afterward he repented himself and went. Then he came to the second and said likewise, and he answered and said, I will, sir. Yet he went not. Whether of them twain did the will of the Father? They said unto him, The first. Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that the publicans and the harlots shall go before you into the kingdom of God. For John came unto you in the way of righteousness, and ye believed him not. The publicans and the harlots believed him. And ye, though ye saw it, were not moved with repentance afterwards, that ye might believe him. Hear another parable. There was a certain householder which planted a vineyard, and hedged it around about, and made a winepress therein, and built a tower, and let it out to husbandmen, and went into a strange country. But when the time of the fruit drew near, he sent his servants to the husbandmen to receive the fruits thereof. And the husbandmen took his servants, and beat one, and killed another, and stoned another. Then he sent other servants, more than the first, and they did the like unto them. But last of all, he sent unto them his own son, saying, They will reverence my son. But when the husbandmen saw the son, they said among themselves, This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and take his inheritance. So when they took him and cast him out of the vineyard and slew him, when therefore the Lord of the vineyard shall come, what will he do to those husbandmen? They say unto him, he will cruelly destroy those wicked men, and will let out his vineyard unto other husbandmen, which shall deliver to him the fruits in their seasons. Jesus said unto them, read ye never in the Scriptures, the stone which the builders refused, the same is made the head of the corner? This was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. Therefore I say unto you, the kingdom of God shall be taken from you, and shall be given to a nation which shall bring forth the fruits thereof. And whosoever shall fall on this stone, he shall be broken. But on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. And then the chief of priests and Pharisees had heard his parables. They perceived that he spake of them. And they, seeking to lay hands on him, feared the people, because they took him as a prophet. Chapter 22. Then Jesus answered and spake unto them again in parables, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king which married his son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bid to the wedding, but they would not come. And again he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner. Mine oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all the things are ready. Come unto the marriage. But they made light of it, and went their ways, one to his farm, and another about his merchandise. And the remnant took his servants, and entreated them sharply, and slew them. But when the king heard it, he was wroth, and sent forth his warriors, and destroyed these murderers, and burnt up their city. Then he said to his servants, truly the wedding is prepared, but they which were bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore out into the highways, find as many as ye find, and bid them to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways, and gathered together all that ever they found, both good and bad. So the wedding was furnished with guests. Then the king came in to see the guests, and saw there was a man which had not on a wedding garment. He said unto him, friend, how camest thou in hither, and hast not on a wedding garment? And he was speechless. Then the king said to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into utter darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth, for many are called, but few chosen. Then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might tangle him in talk. And they sent unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true, and teachest the way of God truly, neither carest for any man, for thou considerest not the person of man. Tell us, therefore, how thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar, or not? But Jesus perceived their wickedness, and said, why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought him a penny. And he said unto them, whose is this image and superscription? And they said unto him, Caesar's. Then he said unto them, give therefore to Caesar the things which are Caesar's, and give unto God those which are God's. When he heard it, they marveled, and left them, and went their way. The same day the Sadducees came to him, which say that there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, that if a man die having no children, let his brother marry his wife, and raise up seed unto his brother. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first married a wife, and deceased, and having none issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise also the second, and the third, unto the 7th. The last of all the woman died also. Therefore in the resurrection, whose wife shall be of the 7? For all had her. And Jesus answered and said unto them, ye are deceived, not knowing the Scriptures, nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry wives, nor wives are bestowed in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. And concerning the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read what is spoken unto you of God, saying, I am the God of Abraham, and the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob? God is not the God of the dead, but of the living. When the people heard it, they were astonished at his doctrine. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they assembled together. And one of them, which was an expounder of the law, asked him a question, tempting him, and saying, Master, which is the great commandment in the law? Jesus said to him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto this: Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hangeth the whole law and the prophets. While the Pharisees were gathered together, Jesus asked them, saying, What think ye of Christ? Whose son is he? They said unto him, David's. He said unto them, How then doth David in spirit call him Lord, saying, The Lord said to my Lord, Sit at my right hand till I make thine enemies thy footstool. If then David call him Lord, how is he his son? And none could answer him a word, neither durst any from that day forth ask him any more questions. Chapter 23. Then he spake Jesus to the multitude, and to his disciples, saying, The scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat. All therefore whatsoever they bid you observe, that observe and do. But after their works do not, for they say and do not. For they bind heavy burdens, and grievous to be borne, and lay them on men's shoulders, but they themselves will not move them with one of their fingers. All of their works they do for to be seen of men, for they make their phylacteries broad, make the fringes of their garments long, and love the chief palace at feasts, and to have the chief seats in the assemblies, and greetings in the markets, to be called of men, Rabbi, Rabbi. But be not ye called Rabbi, for one is your doctor, to wit, Christ, and all are ye brethren. And call no man your father upon the earth, for there is but one, your Father which is in heaven. Be not called doctors, for one is your doctor, even Christ. But he that is greatest among you, let him be your servant. For whosoever will exalt himself shall be brought low, and whosoever will humble himself shall be exalted. Woe therefore be unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye shut up the kingdom of heaven before men. For ye yourselves go not in, neither suffer ye them that would enter to come in. Woe be unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye devour widows' houses, even under a color of long prayers. Wherefore ye shall receive the greater damnation. Woe be unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye compass sea and land to make one of your profession, and when he is made, ye make him twofold more the child of hell than you yourselves. Woe be unto you, blind guides, which say, Whosoever sweareth by the temple, it is nothing, but whosoever sweareth by the gold of the temple, he offendeth. Ye fools and blind, whether is greater, the gold, or the temple that sanctifieth the gold? And whosoever sweareth by the altar, it is nothing, but whosoever sweareth by the offering that is upon it, offendeth. Ye fools and blind, whether is greater, the offering or the altar which sanctifieth the offering? Whosoever sweareth by the altar sweareth by it, and by all things thereon. And whosoever sweareth by the temple sweareth by it, and by him that dwelleth therein. And he that sweareth by heaven sweareth by the throne of God, and by him that sitteth thereon. Woe be to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye tithe mint and anise and cumin, and leave the weightier matters of the law as judgment and mercy and fidelity. These ought ye to have done, and not to have left the other. Ye blind guides, which strain out a gnat and swallow a camel. Woe be to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye make clean the outer side of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of bribery and excess. Thou blind Pharisee, cleanse first the inside of the cup and the platter, that the outside of them may be clean also. Woe be to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye are like unto whited tombs, which appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and all filthiness. So are ye also, for outward ye appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. Woe be unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For ye built the tombs of the prophets, and garnished the sepulchres of the righteous, and say, If we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partners with them in the blood of the prophets. So then ye be witnesses unto yourselves, that ye are the children of them that murdered the prophets. Fulfill ye also the measure of your fathers. O serpents, the generation of vipers, how should ye escape the damnation of hell? Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and of them ye shall kill and crucify, and of them shall ye scourge in your synagogues and persecute from city to city, that upon you may come all the righteous blood that was shed upon the earth, from the blood of Abel the righteous unto the blood of Zacharias the son of Barachias, whom ye slew between the altar and the temple. Verily I say unto you, all these things shall come upon this generation. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, which killest the prophets and stonest them which are sent to thee, how often would I have gathered thy children together as the hen gathereth her chickens under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, your habitation shall be left unto you desolate. For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till that ye say, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord.